Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to another fabulous week of Olympus Rises, where I, your host, Jordan, aka Mickey Games on the Internet, take you on the wonderful journey through the stars, using the Stars Without Numbers system with the help of my fantastic cast. We're glad you could be here. It is episode 38 of this game, and today we're missing a player. Devin will not be here until much later in the night. It's totally fine. The Roll of Fortune will be played by yours truly. I'm sure it'll be no problem, and he won't get into any trouble at all. So, let's go ahead and turn on Discord and see how the rest of our crew has been doing, and do some goals, and see if anybody completed any, because I think there's going to be a couple. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Will, welcome. Glad you could be here.
Yes.
You were on time, and I appreciate that. Basically, I'm just going to make fun of you until you're on time for more than 3 consecutive games in a row.
It was 1 out of 6 games in the past fortnight.
So anyway, how have you been, Will? Tell us all about it, your week.
Yeah, my week's been good. We've been having some great weather over here. Though I say great weather.
I was going to say, can you define great weather for where you are?
Sunny and over, 20 degrees in Fahrenheit?
It's what, about 70?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there?
Yeah, 68. So above 70.
Can we just admit that was actually pretty good guess right there?
That was
a pretty good guess. I'm gonna pat myself on the back real quick. Okay, continue. I'm sorry. Yeah, I would agree that is beautiful weather. Sunny and around 70, somewhere in that range. I would agree that is beautiful weather.
So yeah, that's been pretty awesome. I mean, not that
you go outside or anything, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm told it's nice outside.
It's great that it's there.
I looked out my window today and I saw the guards patrolling the grounds, and they looked pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
They had smiles on their faces. They weren't out in the rain.
So here's the deal. We joke that Will is a princeling. Maybe nobody actually knows who he is, and this is the only way he's allowed to interact with other human beings is anonymously through the internet. Because Queen just keeps him inside at all times with the door shut.
Yeah,
locked.
I'm actually more akin to the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah. Right. Obviously, that's why. You're Quasimodo, basically. Right.
And you did mention you were a ginger.
When did I say I was ginger?
Didn't you?
Well, there was a joke that I made at one point.
Am I wrong though?
I don't.
I am not a ginger, I'm afraid to say.
What?
No,
okay.
I think there was. I think you're confusing.
My image being shattered.
There was a point in time where I posted a hilarious picture of Prince Harry, and I said, "Hey, look, it's Will out for a stroll." So maybe you just assumed that he was a ginger.
No, I think at one point we were discussing beards, and something along that line
Perhaps
came up, but now I don't remember. Will, I'm so sorry that I made assumptions about your hair color and complexion.
Your possible lack of a soul. He made assumptions about that.
So are you, Will? Are you like some raven-haired royal beauty, or?
Are you fair in complexion, Will?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna go with that. Yeah.
What do you tell people to cover your royal identity? What is the running description you give people on the internet?
I mean, I'm a pasty white boy from England. That usually.
Yeah, that only defines 80% of the country.
Yeah. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, that works. It's an apt description.
I mean, so that they don't go looking into that I am actually royalty.
Right.
Just saying
It's a good cover.
You're a pasty nerd from England, yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody would believe you. It's a good thing we all know the truth. And now all 10 people that have ever watched this episode will know the truth as well.
Yeah. I mean, just bear in mind that at some point you're all going to have to die.
Right, because we know your identity. Sure. Yeah.
We're jeopardizing national security by discussing Will's potential royal connections.
Yep.
I mean,
man, that's got to be rough.
Listen, one of the dreams is to go out with a bullet from James Bond in my head. So you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready to go. That's one of my dreams is just to
Which Bond? Which Bond?
Sean Connery, obviously. There is no other Bond.
I'm sorry, Roger Moore was a pretty decent Bond. I'm gonna have to disagree that Sean Connery was the only good one.
I'm actually with my brother on this one.
I mean, that's fine. You're entitled to your wrong opinions. That's totally fine. No, okay, so there are some from Roger Moore that I enjoy. That's a true statement. I can't say that he's the only one. Maybe that was a bit far. He is certainly the best one.
He caved so quickly. It was like not even couldn't even try that hard.
I made a comment without first thinking about it. So. Yeah, Moonraker's pretty good.
Down Moonraker.
I mean, but are you putting down Goldfinger?
Again, I don't think we're saying better or worse. We're just saying also good.
Come on, Jaws.
True.
Lasers.
Jaws was in... I don't think you can use Jaws, though, because he was in also Bond movies with Sean Connery. So that's a bad representation, I think.
I love how the resident Brit doesn't actually have an opinion on this question mark.
Well, he's not allowed to, right? Because that's...
Lol.
That's treason to speak about, and I think if I can speak for Will for a moment, he would not be able to go with Sean Connery because Sean Connery's not actually British, right? Isn't he Scottish?
Okay, so I did some fact checking because I thought you were wrong, and you are wrong. Jaws never appeared. It was both Roger Moore, both times. 2 Bond movies, Spy Who Loved Me.
He appeared in more than 2, though, yeah?
False.
I figured that's what you were doing.
Not according to the internet.
I mean, I'm just gonna Richard Kill IMDb real quick.
However, I did just watch an MST3K. I was pretty sure he had never done anything but the Bond movies. And there was a Mystery Science Theater where he plays some, like, alien.
No way.
Trying to make pod people out of influential humans on Earth so that he could, like, start some invasion. It's really god-awful. Slash amazing. I would definitely recommend that.
Okay, then. I stand corrected.
Balls the internet.
Still, I will say, that doesn't make the difference for me. Sean Connery's still the best.
I mean, we already established that with that comment you're using alternate facts, so I'm comfortable with your assessment that they're on equal footing. Yeah.
Megan. How have you been this week?
Hi, hello. I've been okay. Busy, but nothing interesting. Played even more Divinity, his things. Oh, and freaking Oprah's been ruining my life this weekend. Jesus. Can't go anywhere.
Yeah, I know the story. Perhaps Matt is ill-informed, so...
So, Oprah is the speaker at a very prominent college near me currently. She's been here all weekend.
For what purpose?
Making freaking traffic. And I'm really upset about it, okay?
Is she, like, giving a seminar on how to become a popular talk show?
I would assume the commencement speech,
yeah, she's a commencement speaker.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we had Bill Cosby, and I don't know.
Oh, that seems better. Yeah, that seems better than Oprah.
Before he was infamous. but
Oh no, that was during. That was just before everyone started talking about it.
yeah, that's
Yeah, true. Rip Bill
Might be
Cosby.
the active period.
I do not know. However, she's been showing up at various restaurants and causing chaos, and I don't appreciate it.
I mean, the real question is, has she given everybody a car yet? Like, that's the thing we need to ask ourselves.
I mean, I feel as though that's probably why people have been, calling her around and shit.
Yeah.
But she hasn't, to the best of my knowledge, she has not handed out a dime.
I mean,
so, I don't appreciate
so
that
obviously
at all.
what you should do now is you should write her a very strongly worded letter that says, you ruined my life for a week by making traffic hell in my city. Can I have a car, please, so that I can get around in this traffic
The
that you have made hell?
the least you can do is give me and a few of my coworkers also cars.
Totally.
Please. Thank you.
I don't seem to remember you complaining when Robert Downey Jr. went to Northampton.
True.
I seem to remember that you went and staked out as many places.
No,
as
that
possible.
didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking
See,
about.
the difference between the two people you just mentioned is Robert Downey Jr. is attractive.
But also, he was a super nice guy and took time to talk to everybody and take pictures with everybody, and it was super chill. Apparently, she's just been like, no one else is allowed to be in this restaurant when I'm in here.
Really?
Yeah.
I have some horror
like,
stories from some celebrities.
What?
I have some horror stories.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But whereas Robert Downey Jr. was just like, hey, want to eat breakfast with us? Cool. He was nice.
That was when Meg envisioned her opportunity.
I mean, I don't blame her. First of all, I would go for it if that were a possibility.
Okay, thank you.
Dude,
right.
I'd do them. I'm not saying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Although, if I knew that he was going to,
18-hour drive away at the time, so
yeah, if I knew that he was going to sign 90% of his holdings away to his ex-wife, who then immediately divorced him after he did that, then
Meg wouldn't treat him like that.
I may think differently.
Oh my god, that is true. Anyway, this just took a really strange turn.
I was gonna make a very sexist joke, and I withheld myself. I just want to let you know that, Megan, that I was gonna go real dark, and then I decided not to. Mostly because you may be traveling to a planet that's pretty bad already.
This is an open.
This is true. I will not.
It's true. That's a good point. I was going to say that Megan would become a right little housewife for Robert Downey Jr.
And I would not disagree with that
And
statement.
the best part is, I'm already a good cook, so I'm halfway there. So,
although to be fair,
halfway there.
Oh god. Chat brings up an excellent point. I would drop Robert Downey Jr. for some Sherlock action. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah, totally.
100% true.
Yeah, Benedict eggs and bacon.
Anyway, we need to move on from this.
That's one of my favorite ones because it combines you say the first name and it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna say it. Oh no, you fucked it up. You did the bad thing. Fantastic. Anything else besides Oprah ruining your life, Megan?
No, I think that's my anecdote for the week.
Okay, fantastic. Matt, hello.
Alright. I got nothing. It's
no Oprah's
same
story.
old shit, man. I spent 20 plus hours on a microscope between Friday and Saturday, and I'm not sure how much I have to show for it. So my life is not terribly interesting right now.
Yeah, we had a very brief conversation about that kind of feedback in our dreams and tasks that we complete. It's I don't know if this is helping at all, but I have to do it.
Absolutely. It's incredibly demoralizing to not get feedback.
Yeah, we just got to put
even
big old question mark.
Reasonably delayed feedback. It's just it's awful. But maybe something will turn out.
Hopefully you and I both in the next few months will pass all of our luck saves and then we will be able to move on and get to the next level Speaking of luck
except
saves,
I have to pass like consecutive science rolls before I even get
Right.
to make a luck save.
of course.
Like we're not. There's a very complex mechanic at work here to determine if I
Right.
make progress.
Yeah, and for me, in hindsight, I have more than just one roll, right? I have I gotta make persuasion rolls, and also bureaucracy rolls, and also probably a couple of computers checks, in addition to perhaps some pre-tech rolls, because, I need to figure out setups and that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, I can feel your pain.
Right now, would it be like current tech?
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be called pre-tech. True.
Yeah. It's like contemporary tech.
Yeah.
Contact.
Hey, that seems great. Contech.
I'm good with names of things. Anyway.
It's true.
I believe in you both. How's that? There you go.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, no, I mean, I've got my parachute. We've discussed that at length. I have.
True.
This is all about, and I tell myself this now, but just I'll have to wait for the people that people whose opinions actually have influence on the matter to tell me. But I have my parachute, I think. So everything from here until like December or January is personal pride, trying to get stuff to work. So it could be bad. It could be worse.
Indeed. But that is important too, if we're being honest.
So I got what I need.
Being able to walk away from a project satisfied is just as important, I think, as completing it or not completing it.
Yeah. So I'm not in bad shape. We'll see.
Indeed. I am about 90% certain that Jessica adopted another cat today.
You guys are like magnets.
More kitties!
She messaged me today and she goes, "Hey, I'm sending you a video." And I was like, okay. But she doesn't have great signal where she's at, so it was taking a long time to upload. And so I was peppering her with questions in between this, what's the video about? Is it something I can watch at work? All of that kind of stuff.
Not suitable for work.
Yeah. And she's like, no, it's fine. I have a friend. And as soon as she said I have a friend, I knew immediately what it was. And I'm like, did you adopt another cat? And she goes, maybe.
You guys have the Catholic family planning approach to pets.
Well, you want to hear the craziest thing?
You're
remember...
just full steam ahead. If they come to us, they come to us.
Well, yeah. Are you ready? Are you ready for the crazy part? It was basically the exact same situation as with Fife. She saw the cat outside. She pet the cat. The cat was nice. She took a video of it. She took a picture of it. She went to go inside of the house, and the cat just walked in. Said, "This is all mine now."
You say that as if that's weird. Cats literally do that all the time. That's how they get people to love them ever.
Yeah.
They literally don't leave.
When Meg and I were kids, this is how we acquired both pets we ever owned.
2 cats. It's my fault. We acquired 2 animals.
Yeah. So,
aren't crazy cat ladies usually single, and that's why they're crazy cat ladies?
Well, I mean, maybe.
I think there may be some self-selection there. I don't think one really determines the other. I think it becomes kind of a positive loop.
There's usually a fairly good correlation between the two.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
needless
can
to
also
say,
be a crazy lady without cats. I'm not speaking from experience or anything.
No, of course not, Megan. Who would think that?
well, to be fair, Megan has begged me to send her kittens. So I mean,
True.
just because there is a lack of actual felines doesn't mean that you are not
cat lady.
Right. Doesn't mean you are not
cats.
actually a crazy cat lady. It just means you are not currently in possession of the cat portion of that statement.
This is true. This is 100% true.
So I might have 4 cats now. I'm not 100% certain. She told me today, she's like, I'm trying not to love him too much, because then I'll fall in love with him, and then we'll have to keep him. And I said, it's already too late. And she's like, you're right. So.
It was always too late.
Yeah, no, from the moment, from the initiation. That's okay. That's why I love her, because she has a huge heart, and will take anything, and including me. So that's great. Moving right along, though.
Well, hopefully she sticks to one SO.
Let's have her not start collecting those, huh?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Although, I might be into that thing. I don't know.
Gross. So
Too far, Meg.
Lol.
A little too far.
On the topic of things in space, last session was quite dynamic, I think is the word that I would use for it. There was a bit of bouncing back and forth. There was a bit of perhaps forced monologuing and montaging. But essentially we ended on a good note where everybody is
wherein Go-Go didn't get shot in the back of the head from 2 miles away.
Correct. Mostly
Yeah.
mostly that Dr. Fisher didn't get shot in the back of the head from 2 miles away.
Oh, I don't know. Go-Go is the first one you mentioned.
Well, Gogo's not on the list, so
She's an associate.
she is not.
I'm not on the list, guys.
Listen, this guy's done his homework.
That is a good
He
point.
knows.
He
I mean, it
probably
makes no
knows.
sense why I'm not on the list in regards to current situations, but that's
Because you're already dead.
true.
Correct. Dead is a strong word. But we ended with happiness and sentience, which I think is the most important part, perhaps. And I think that the crew was probably in the hopes of getting off planet as soon as possible. And you guys had a good method of doing that. You had already planned on going through like the kind of minimal security checkpoint, and that kind of stuff. But obviously there's probably some immediate aftermath things that need to happen prior to that actually occurring. So for lack of input, I think, Fortune specifically is not going to mention the fact that he has a new rifle. Probably will gloss over that fact multiple times. And if anything, he'll probably just tell you that he acquired it on planet somewhere. But he also doesn't have it with him when he goes to meet you and things like that. It obviously has to get taken out the same way it was taken in, via his contact, Sarah MacGyver, who was Dr. Fisher's contact, but has since moved on with her life.
Oh, sad.
But I think that most importantly, I would like to start the session kind of in space already, kind of away from the hubbub of going through the security checkpoint, because I don't want to bother with it. I want to move on to the next steps that we're going to take here. So let's start out with goals, and let's see where everybody is currently at with that. I'm also going to progress the clock one day, because it would have taken probably a sleep for you guys to then get out. So we'll start from the bottom since we started from the top with stuff. Oscar, aka Matt, what, if any, goals have you completed?
Bring Shane back to life.
Again,
Also,
strong term, but I think
no. As it was written, it was
yeah, I see it.
Aiden Chan's resurrection.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know how you work. He is not revived, but he is back among us.
Indeed. He is again, I'm using the word sentient for now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He is at least at this juncture a free-thinking being that is in existence.
Yeah. So I did the thing.
Correct. I would agree with that.
after several weeks of travel and scavenging for
there were a couple of
medicine.
And it wasn't easy either.
Sneaking in through security and making a trip to the Arctic and dealing with space zombies, interacting with
Yeah, and specifically zombie tigers too. That was a thing that occurred.
Getting the snot chewed out of me and scratched out of me by zombie tigers.
And
so
somehow
forth.
all of you passed physical effects save, which really was disappointing, to be honest.
Well, man, honest to God, I'm kind of disappointed too. I'm gonna be like, if we're being real about this.
I think that is a definite completion of that goal, and it's not particularly easy either, and it did take up a few weeks. So I think you can net 500 experience for that.
I'll take it.
Is that other one also a completion?
Determine well. I think that's whenever my So the second goal for those that cannot read my character sheet like Jordan is able is determine if
I could pull it up, but I won't
disease,
because you may not want stuff shared.
Secret
exactly.
business up in there. Second goal is determine if disease enhances psionic abilities, make decision whether or not to expose self. And that is going to be a firm no, because I was informed that it would literally destroy me.
Destroy was the word that was used, yes.
And that sounds counterproductive. So I don't think that is actually completed, though.
I think it is a partial success, and the only reason why I say that is because you did make the decision whether or not to be exposed, but you also didn't determine if it would enhance your psychic abilities.
Well, I made that determination as far as Oscar is willing to risk his life. But
right.
The reason why I don't think it's completed is because it is Oscar's understanding that he was given some sort of knowledge time bomb from this AI or whatever this being was, and clarity is going to come to him. That was the understanding.
It certainly will.
He, whatever that means, I think when that occurs is when that goal is actually complete.
We can perhaps check a box once that occurs. Yeah.
Yeah,
and that is definitely going to occur with varying effects upon your physiology, I'm sure.
So I'm not sure if you want to give that to me now and have the information come later.
Oh no! Give you the experience. Yeah, I think that it's a relatively safe goal. It's basically just saying yes or no and then getting a thing. So you can go ahead and net 250 experience for it, and I have a whole thing for what's going to happen. So don't worry.
Sure.
Or worry.
I was just trying to work out if my, Oscar's waiting patiently for this, and he understands that he did what he could in terms of acquiring this information.
Totally.
Thing. Yeah, he's in a rare move for him. He's putting his faith completely in one of these critters, so he doesn't really trust much pre-tech or Maltech, but
of which this is probably both.
Of which this is a big steaming pile.
Yeah, just a giant steaming, hot, wet pile. Yep.
Yep.
I was listening to the VOD today, and I laughed out loud at work when I was making all of the penis jokes last week, and you said, Matt, this is why you don't get ads. Holy shit, I almost lost my... I lost my cool at work for a moment.
Yeah.
Because that was super funny. And again, I wanted to bring that up because this is why we don't get ads. We talk about steaming piles of shit.
No. I never said the word shit.
True.
I never said the word.
But again, it's the innuendo.
I said Maltech. Steaming pile of Maltech.
Right, totally. So, I think that probably settles it for you.
Okay.
And I see you have
Yep.
other goals
So,
written in there.
Yeah. Yep. And those are, I think those goals are private for now.
Yeah, I assume
Those
so.
will come up in good time.
Yeah. I think that a lot of the session is going to be, okay, guys, what
Yeah.
the fuck do we do now?
Yep.
So I'm sure that one of those might come up. Let's move on. Go. Have you completed any goals?
All 3 of them.
Indeed, all 3 of them. So Gogo's gonna get a little bit more experience, I think, for this particular one because she sacrificed all 3 of her slots, and I think she perhaps deserves it based on other extenuating circumstances and at her own character's risk. So Gogo, I'm gonna give you you can have 1,000 experience for all 3 of those goals.
Thank you.
So wait, for the audience here, including your fellow players, what were those like in print?
It was a copy pasta of the same goal 3 times that just said "Save Sweet Bay Chan."
Oh, we can do that? I didn't know that.
It is essentially I think a specific thing.
Yeah, I
for
would
Go-Go
never
in
do that
this-
again. But
No,
in this
that
mode.
was all I cared about as a character for quite some time.
Yeah,
So.
it's also clearly there are diminishing returns if we choose to do that.
Right. She didn't get triple the experience, right?
Yeah, she didn't get like, I can't mental math right now, but you know.
Well, if you got 500, I didn't get 1,500. I only got 1,000. So
Yeah.
Indeed. Well, the good news is you now have 3 open slots, though.
I know.
So
well,
you can.
I got a lot of things now.
Yeah,
What are you
right.
doing
I'm
with
sure
that?
I'm sure there are a
So,
lot
I
of
mean-
things in the sidebar that have been
Yes.
put on hold
Uh-huh.
that can now be input. So great, awesome, quick and easy. I like it. Fortune completed 0 of his goals. Dr. Fisher.
Yes. So I have definitely completed one of them.
Let's see here.
I have resolved matters with Chan, either
Indeed.
save or jettison.
Those were the options that you had written down there.
Fisher, savage.
Listen, he is at a minimum, he is pragmatic.
I was gonna make fun of you for giving like the broadest goal description possible until you said save or
Save
jettison.
for jettison. Yep.
Because like resolve X is such a cop out.
It really is, but since he specifically has that there
Yep.
in
Yeah, I take it back.
there were 2 completion
Yes.
paths here, which is totally fine, totally okay. I think that you also get 500 experience for that. It is on the same level of.
And so then with my big goal, because now I have 2 new shiny toys to play with.
Indeed.
Could I perhaps get a big science research project to go
I will
towards
thank you not to
that
refer
goal?
to Chan that way.
I mean,
What do
okay.
you think this entire...
Yeah,
like,
this you all are very
collective-
confused if you think that this is for anyone but Dr. Fisher. So
Chan's my big shiny toy. A little research project.
Yes, certainly. I'm going to message you the details on that because I don't know if we want that. I want it to kind of be a progressive storyline.
Yeah.
Um, So I will message you the requirements at least to begin with. And we'll all just wait for his reaction momentarily. Okay, great. Okay, good. Yeah, that's appropriate. So,
Wait, what toys? Are we allowed to know what toys?
No, because they're my toys. And I won't let people
Well, you
take
seem to
my
be
toys.
collecting everyone's and not doing much with them. So I was just wondering if you would share.
Sorry if my science roles have been pretty crap lately, alright?
It doesn't matter if they're crap if you don't even work on a shit I gave you.
I think he's
Fisher.
I saved Sweet Chan, damn it. It
Yeah,
just took
it's true.
me several weeks over.
It's true. This is a good point. And you also have 2 available goal slots, it looks like. So you can certainly throw some easy ones in there, throw some hard ones in there. We shall see. For sure and for certain. As I said, Fortune gets no experience, obviously, because he didn't complete any goals whatsoever.
Is that true? How did he not complete any goals?
It is certainly not true. I am making fun of him in his absence because he has had a goal since Session 1 to acquire the sniper rifle that he currently is in possession of.
Man.
So it is a joke at his expense.
I was going to say, he's really playing a whole different game than we are.
Oh, don't worry. He will very rapidly be on the same level. He has had a goal for 37 weeks of gameplay, and he will be rewarded appropriately for that goal of 37 weeks. Have no fear.
Jesus Christ. I thought getting my assault suit was a big one.
This is, to be fair, this is the last big one. Every single person that played this game put, like, the one big thing that drives their character. First we handled yours, and then we handled Go-Go's and Boomers, which was kind of the same.
For actual written goals, yes. That is not what is driving my character.
Correct, yes.
I don't disagree with what you... Yeah.
So.
The big, like, day 1 goals we're all done with now.
Yeah, right. I mean, with kind of the exception of yours, but you at least have had progression on it, right? You have a path.
Sorta.
Yeah,
kind of, sorta. I have a path now.
Yeah. And then obviously Dr. Fisher's, which now has a path, which is great, right?
Yeah. 15 weeks without any actual breakthrough, but I now can do something.
Hey, sometimes that happens like that. So, quick recap of the things we didn't quite talk about. And this is where we're going to kind of montage the leaving scenes, right? I think that there was a concern about finding a job because in 15 days, there is a payment due. But I think that it would probably be prudent, and all of you would realize this, that you should probably get the fuck off the planet and then find a job somewhere else.
A little bit.
Because, not only because of the fact that, you have this illegal with you, right? Like, everything about what Chan and Gogo represent now is treason on this planet. So that's obviously a concern. The other concern being Fortune probably makes some hints to you that they might be onto us. We should probably get in space dust as soon as possible. Maybe or maybe not. Who knows, right? Who truly can understand the ways of the Claire's good. But he probably just admits that to you, specifically, Oscar, to kind of have you help him be the driving force to... Well,
yeah, because we...
Get off planet.
I don't know that we ever even told Gogo or Fisher that
neither of those two individuals are aware. Correct.
Yeah, that'll happen in space.
Right, exactly. He's
using
you as the connection to the party to kind of be like, okay, guys, let's get off the planet now.
Yeah, we're like sheepdogging everybody. Like, okay, time to go.
Right, exactly.
You should feel honored, Oscar, because you're the first one they tell their big secrets.
It's true. He knows how to keep one, though. That was his job for a very long time, I think. So.
Discretion, man. It's a valuable skill.
It is valuable.
Oh, there was a question
yes.
We had. Freight McFreightface, when was the last payment we made on it?
So you are paid for August. The next payment will be due on September 1st. And it will be of the amount listed there, 9,900 and something, right? 9,928. Yeah. You currently have 0 credits in the spacecraft GoFundMe. Because remember, how you guys have been doing it is you guys have been dumping all of your credits in the spacecraft, and then pay at the end of the month, and then pay out whatever is left.
See, Will didn't believe me that we're in, like, dire financial straits when
we were
discussing this pre-session.
You haven't made any money in the past 16 days, basically, is what I'm saying to you.
To say that we haven't made money, like, totally does not encompass the situation, though, because we spent a shitload of money.
Yeah, totally.
Most of it was my money, though, so it's fine.
Yeah, but
totally.
the like cosmic buffer to keep this thing in space
I know. We'll
is
figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Hey, I've got
Yeah,
half
totally.
the funds on me already, should the need come.
So the other issue is you are still missing hit points as well, and you have not taken care of that yet because you did not have time to stop because you needed to save Chan. So that is another issue, and it's on average 1,000 credits per hit point of repair. So there's another 2K that you'll have to get fixed at some point. The ship is still flyable, and you can still maneuver it around and do all the fun stuff with it, but, you know, you guys are great at avoiding fights anyway, so I'm sure it'll be no problem.
our only defense is the throttle.
Correct.
That's all we have is go faster.
Correct.
I mean, it's worked for us so far.
It has indeed. It has indeed.
Yeah, like 3 out of 3 encounters,
Yep.
go fast is the winning tactic.
Exactly. So some bookkeeping aspects of getting the fuck off the planet. I think that the first thing you notice when returning to the ship and powering everything up and getting ready to go is you have acquired a piece of cargo. It is a secure lockbox, probably about the size of a standard footlocker, that has actually been strapped and bolted down to the floor of the cargo hold. And it looks techy, perhaps TL4, maybe even 4.5 level tech. And upon inquiry, Fortune would tell you that I had to do this in order to, you know, he probably would say, it's something for Sarah MacGyver. We have to deliver it for her in payment for the deal I had to make in order to keep you guys safe, would be the general line. If pushed further on, like, what is it, he would honestly tell you he has no idea. The only information he was given was where it needs to go and who you need to contact when you get there. There is no idea what is in it, what it contains, and that was a specific caveat of this payment that you are to pay. So one thing that I will put here, and just to kind of get the ball rolling on the, hey, let's talk and figure out what the we're gonna do. Hello, cat. Is
So
we have a destination in mind.
before we leave, and I said this previously, but we don't have to. We can totally montage it.
Yeah.
Oscar did want, and it would have been convenient to do so since we had to meet with her anyway. He did want to invest in some cyberware before leaving.
Right. Correct. And which cyberware would you like to invest in?
He has regretted for like 2 months not getting a integral bioscanner
Right.
the previous time they were here.
Totally.
So that is something that
Yeah, and that is a
Especially-
relatively routine thing that you can simply just pay the money for and get.
yeah, it's a in and out, you know.
Yeah, it's an outpatient
little
procedure.
recuperation. Yeah.
You get
absolutely.
a bioscanner, and you get a bioscanner.
They're
You
great,
get a
man.
bioscanner.
Too soon. Too soon.
Oh god,
Megan
Triggered.
is. I was gonna say.
Still
I was gonna
so
say
much
Megan
trigger
is so
happening.
triggered right now.
Jesus.
Straight up
No.
triggered.
Straight up triggered. Yep.
Except if it was really Oprah, like I wouldn't be able to pay the taxes on it.
Correct. Yeah. So it'd be like
repossess
Rip it
your
out of
home.
me.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
would repossess the ship actually, even though your name's not even on it.
Space opera is powerful, man.
Well, I mean, now I have to make a character who is space opera, right? Like that's
Please.
it's Spopra, obviously.
Clearly. Anyway.
So that is simple. Just deduct the credits from your inventory
Yeah.
and add
Is
that to your
that-
list, and make sure you add the strain as well, because it does cost strain to have one of them. I think it's 1 strain for that particular upgrade.
Yeah, I will do that.
Yeah, so make sure you have that up and aware of it. Cool, awesome, fantastic. So once this has happened, you guys have rocketed into space. The crew meeting, does it occur in system, or are you like, hey, let's go somewhere else? Obviously, you'll have time, like you can set the autopilot and fly out and have a crew meeting. And maybe that's the best plan in this instance.
Was 402 the super awesome spaceport?
402 is Fatine, yes. Let's look at the sector guide here. 0402 is the Haze system and it has Fatine. Yes, it is. It is the supposed TL5, right? It's the spaceport is actually pre-tech. And it also this is also where you guys got the ship fixed last time. So maybe that's a good plan, is to like go get the ship fixed here and then maybe also try and find a job or something while we're here.
Maybe.
Maybe. Right, yeah, it all depends on what you guys want to do. Maybe there's some personal mission that you guys want to take care of. I don't know. That is not my decision. So, that is certainly a task that you all can go and accomplish. But I think that in the montage of getting back on the ship, people probably have once everything is settled and everybody's back on the ship, what's like the first thing that occurs? You guys have taken off, you're flying. Is there, like I said, a meeting of the minds, or is there... I mean, the other consideration is, like, Chan's awake now, right? Like, that can't be ignored.
I think... Well, there was some time that we all spent in the hotel.
Correct.
So I think that, to a minimal extent, like, Chan would have been...
Gogo would have filled him in completely. She wouldn't have lied to him. She would have told him exactly what happened.
I mean...
Yeah, and I think that immediately he is struggling with the concept. Yeah, like, heavily struggling with the concept. But, like to the point of where he just, like, ends up just starting to agree and tell you that he understands because he thinks it's what you want to hear. Like, he doesn't get it at all. He doesn't understand what's happened to him or what is going to happen to him at all.
Yeah, and I think that Gogo probably would have just finished, like, completely understanding, because Gogo barely understands it herself, to be honest. But I think she probably would have turned to Fisher to try to explain it in a way that's more...
technical?
Yeah, almost.
So Chan is awake. What would you have said to him, Dr. Fisher?
Yeah, I think I would have at least brought Chan and Gogo into the medical room.
Okay, yeah, so like maybe you get back on the ship, you give them the basic rundown. You get on the ship's in on its way to the edge of the system to jump out, or to drill out, and you're both summoned to the medical room, and promptly Chan appears. One thing that you notice, Dr. Fisher, is Chan doesn't appear to require any physical recovery time from his extended stay in the horizontal position.
Yeah, even in status, you usually need at least...
Yeah, exactly.
To get on your feet.
And also, Dr. Fisher, I think, again, and this is pretty obvious, and probably was obvious from the beginning, you read no vital signs from Chan.
Brilliant.
So he obviously shows up promptly, and you begin to run like a full diagnostic scan on him, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, roll me a tech med check for Chan.
Tech med. Plus 1.
What I have told you is what you know.
11 minutes.
You have 11 minutes, yeah.
I mean, you're also going to have to run one on Gogo. That's your choice.
if you use that scalpel, you get a bonus to your roll. Maybe you can just like get in there.
Just cut them open, man. Sure.
Yeah, I'll re-roll that one.
You're gonna re-roll that
reason,
one?
Yeah,
good reason to
re-roll
believe
that
he'll
one.
be fine.
Hell yeah.
So in addition to noticing that he has no vital signs, right? Like, you notice a couple of things. There's no, like, the traditional, there's no heartbeat. There's no... Chan doesn't appear to be, like, breathing. The only thing I think you notice, and this is the difference between the 5 and the 13, is his brain activity is off the charts. It is the level of, like, synapses that are firing is perhaps twice the amount of a traditional scan that you would run. But strangely, that appears to be, like, the only active thing inside of Chan besides his body functions. Or I shouldn't even say his body functions, besides his mobility, right? Like, moving around and talking appears to be the only other thing Chan does, like a normal being.
Now, Chan, I shall explain this to you in most simple of terms. When we were attacked by those space pirates, as we'll call them, you suffered a serious gunshot wound to your cranium, and
I think kind of subconsciously he, like, raises his head to, like, look, like, to feel where the scar is.
We had to keep you in cryostasis for 2 months, was it? And we eventually managed to get you to Pylos, where we did an experimental procedure which has changed your physiology somewhat. Basically, don't try to get any standard medical treatment from this point on.
And I think that he's like, excuse me, Dr. Fisher, why would I require standard medical treatment?
Just in case something like this happens again, and you do end up becoming injured again, I still need to run a lot more tests to find out the true capabilities of your current physiological.
Yeah, and I think you see him, like, the cogs are turning, and he like raises his hand.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Fisher, will this affect my duties on the ship here? I cannot be away from them for too long. Nobody else would be able to complete them.
Oh, no. In fact, I don't believe it will be much different from when you were having your checkups for your collar.
Oh. Okay. I understand.
Good. Yes, that's a very good show.
You don't think he understands?
Yes. Everything's going to be fine. Just let me be your personal doctor, and that is all you have to worry about.
Yeah. So Gogo, you're probably
I
there
love
as
how
well.
many interactions start with Chan, like, being completely honest and then wind up lying that it's okay that he doesn't understand at all.
It's his character, man.
I know.
So Gogo, you're probably there as well. And Dr. Fisher, you need to roll a tech med check for her as well to do some checks on that. Cool. Gogo appears to be in peak physical condition. You can detect nothing wrong with her at all. She has a very strong heartbeat. Her lungs are filling with air and pumping the oxygen into the blood quite well. With a 9, you do notice that her brain synapses are firing at a high rate, but nowhere near as high as Chan's.
Gilgo, I don't think I've ever actually seen your pupils not dilated.
Oh, I think Gogo does actually laugh. And she says, "Well, if I knew I could feel this good without it, I would have done it years ago."
Yeah. Well, I think for now you're in the same position as Chan, just current regular checkups frequently, but that'll be all the more time to discuss ancient jazz bands.
Yes, absolutely. Like, Gogo's just in the best mood ever.
Yeah, cool. And I think that, like, that's probably end scene on that. But I think that, Dr. Fisher, you realize that you have two very different toys, as you called them here.
Yeah,
they are
which is actually great.
They are in extremely different states of what you expected, I think.
With not actually being able to get a mature state, as one may call it, then these two opposite states are very welcome indeed.
Indeed. So great, awesome. You gather your information on that. I think that the other thing that needs to probably be taken care of is, Oscar, when you return to the ship and you do your inspection of everything,
checking on my buddy.
He's not there.
I suspected.
Yeah. There is a note pinned to like with a little magnet. Probably it's like a handwritten note that's pinned with a magnet to like the door. It probably says this: "There's nothing more I can teach you that you will not find out by yourself. I hope that your time was enjoyable, and remember what I've taught you. You will need it in the future, especially with what you are about to do, or have already done." And then it's just signed Pip. But then I think there's a PS on the back. And the PS says, "One must not always be present to help in their own ways."
Yeah, Oscar turns the note over once or twice and he takes it in, and I think he just, like, maybe, I don't know, are his quarters, like,
they
didn't really have much.
They're Spartan.
Him.
Yeah, there is no remnants of him on the ship.
Yeah, he probably just takes a moment or two to reflect on that, because, like, this was it's probably been a very long time since Oscar has had a proper instructor. So yeah, he probably just reflects on that for a moment or two before setting back out his business.
Yeah. Cool. So when does the crew meeting happen? I assume sometime between all of that and when we actually drill and figure out where the fuck we're going. And who calls the meeting is also an important question.
Oh Jesus, it's definitely Oscar.
Yeah, so probably like you said it for like immediately.
Now that they're back on the ship.
Yeah, you said it for immediately, and you know what? You guys probably get the notification of a meeting while you're in the med bay together. Like, it's that soon. Now that the ship is kind of under its own power. And so I assume everybody attends, including Chan. Chan also attends. He is, strangely enough, Chan had... Well, I mean, not strangely enough. This is actually probably expected. He has no recollection of time. No time has passed in his mind. The last thing he remembers is he was kneeling, and there was a Sriek behind him, and he saw Oscar in his assault suit, and he saw the dude that was, like, grabbing onto Oscar's back, and that's the last thing he remembers. He remembers nothing between then and now. So for him, this is simply the next day, and he seems to be acting perfectly normal, as if he had not missed a single beat.
That is probably a blessing.
Mm-hmm. So he shows up with his traditional, like, he's got his compad that he uses to take notes. Fortune is also there. You notice Fortune comes in with that rifle that he acquired, and just, like, has it in his lap the whole time during the meeting. And will give input as he sees fit. He doesn't normally carry his other rifle around everywhere, just to be fair.
Yeah. So yeah, the message would have been something to the effect of, like, you know, before we actually take off, we need to discuss certain matters. You know, like nothing terribly descriptive. That probably sounds relatively, like, you know, it probably people would think it's, like, about money, like, first and foremost.
Sure.